The man from Sweden won 10 ATP World Tour titles, made 2 consecutive French Open finals, and reached number 4 in the Emirates ATP rankings. He retired early from professional tennis in 2015 due to health concerns. But Robin Soderling still loves the sport that has given him so much.
I've been playing tennis since I was 4 years old, and I really love it. So I try to stay as active as possible.
You know, he had that just blistering power, kind of a little bit of an unorthodox swing on his ground strokes, but man, was it effective. And when he had time, he was one of the most dangerous players out there.
Well, he was a tough player to play. I mean, he had huge guns. I mean, he served huge, great forehand, hit the ball so hard.
He was a very good indoor player because he had a high ball toss, so the wind didn't affect him inside, but he transferred that into becoming a great outdoor player, someone who could just hit the ball really flat, great crack of the sound when he hit the ball.
Perhaps his greatest achievement was beating Rafael Nadal at Roland Garros 7 years ago. Soderling was the first player to hand defeat to Rafa in Paris, snapping the Spaniard's 31-match win streak at the French Open.
I think we all remember that extraordinary day at Roland Garros in 2009 when he beat Rafa in the 4th round.
I mean, nobody even came close to beating him. I mean, he really had some firepower.
Hitting the ball so hard and with his big stroke, big motion, and he was also able to serve great first serve, second serve. He took a lot of risk that day, and it works.
But Soderling mentally, it was an extraordinary achievement to do something that no one had ever achieved at Roland Garros before.
In July of 2011, Soderling contracted mononucleosis. He ended up playing what would become his last professional match in the finals of Bastard, upsetting Ferrer, where he won the title. He was only 26 years old.
It's all smiles. He has dominated the Bastard tournament this year.
I started to feel some symptoms at Wimbledon a couple of weeks before Bastard. I had some fever, sore throat, but it wasn't that bad. It was off and on a little. You think that, oh, okay, I rest for a week or two and then I will feel better. But then the weeks went on and I didn't feel better. Then I was really scared. But then as soon after the tournament, I was really sick again with high fever and sore throat, and I was really low on energy. And you know, I was so tired I had to rest between the bed and the bathroom, which is like 10 meters. I had to rest halfway on the way. So I was really, really sick for a long time.
Soderling intended to come back and made many attempts, but was never able to regain his fitness. He officially made the difficult decision to retire in 2015 after 4 years of comeback attempts.
I tried to really come back at the end of last year after the Stockholm Open tournament. You know, I gave it a chance and it worked pretty well, but then when I started to train a little bit harder, I started to feel some of the symptoms again, and then I realized, you know, I cannot be 80 or 90% to play full-time on the tour. I have to be 100%, which I'm not still, so that's why I decided to retire.
We cannot forget all the nice achievement that he actually did, even if it's, you know, the career went too short.
He didn't deserve to finish like that, you know. It was a shame. He was a big player, and I think he could have done even more.
But Soderling has found ways to stay connected to tennis, even if he can't be on the court competing. He became tournament director in Stockholm and founded RS Tennis, which produces balls, grips and strings.
It was a much bigger process than I ever expected. It took almost a year and a lot of work and energy. So when I play, I use the balls, I play with the strings and the grips. So for me, it's really the high quality products.
So it's nice to see him doing something else. You always need, you know, you can't just sit there and do nothing, and that's the hardest part.
You know, it seems like he's found happiness and settled down a lot with life, and I'm happy for him that way. But as a fan, I would have loved to see him play 5 to 10 more years on tour and put up a few more big wins.
It's a very, very good lifestyle, and sometimes you maybe don't, when you're in it, maybe you don't realize how good of a life it is.
Next week on ATP World Tour Uncovered, all change as we welcome the grass surface of Stuttgart. And the resurgence of Marcus Baghdatis, the Cypriot still fighting at 30. Don't forget to log on to atpworldtour.com and chat with us on the ATP's official social network, MyATP, powered by Vixlet, and on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. See you next week.